the time has come to transform Dave's old man 599 into something that is actually cool. This car is absolutely amazing as far as the drivetrain goes. It has a normally aspirated V12. It screams with a straight pipe exhaust. We've already got coilovers on it. We've got some wheels on it, but the exterior just doesn't match how it drives and how it sounds, and it's time to change that. So we've already done this once before. We took this very, very boring 550 that was an ugly gray color. It was high off the ground, stock wheels. There was nothing really cool about it except that it had a V12 in it, and it had a gated 6-speed manual transmission. But that was about it. So to transform this boring old grandfather Ferrari into something cool, we stripped the interior out of it. We put a roll cage in it. We put race seats in it. We put a handbrake in it. And then we did a bunch of exterior mods. We did these really cool hood vents. We did dive planes. We did a front splitter. We did side skirts. We did a rear diffuser that's massive and looks insane. And we put an APR giant carbon fiber wing on it. So the only issue that we have with the 550 is that this older V12 doesn't make a ton of power, and it just doesn't have the sound that the 599 has. So that's why we've sold this car, and we are going to transform the 599 and a step up from what we did with the 550. Just so you remember what this thing sounds like, it does have headers. It is basically straight pipe. There's a single muffler in the rear. I made most of the exhaust except for the headers, and it does sound good, but it doesn't scream. Don't get me wrong, this thing sounds great. It just does not compare to the scream of the 599. All right, now for a comparison. This thing might hurt your ears, so headphone users beware. That's what I'm talking about. That's the difference. So this is a bone stock 599 engine with a straight pipe and headers. Basically just like the 550. But for some reason, this newer V12 engine is about twice as loud, way higher pitched. It has that Formula One sound that we're really looking for. And like I said, we've already done the conversion. This thing is now a 6-speed gated manual transmission, just like the 550. So the biggest issue for me is the styling of the 599. I honestly think that this is one of the frumpiest, most boring looking Ferraris that they've ever produced. Doesn't grab your attention. When you hear it, it does. Nobody really makes a body kit for this thing anymore, so we're gonna have to do it ourselves like we usually do. We will transform the exterior of this car. We're gonna do hood vents. We're gonna do a front splitter. We're gonna do dive planes, maybe multiple dive planes. Side skirts. We're definitely gonna do a big diffuser and a few other mods. We're gonna do hood pins, and one of the most important things, after all that, we need to put a handbrake in this thing. We need a fun handle in this car too. In this video, we will finish those hood vents. We will get them on the car. While we're upgrading the exterior for drivability purposes, we need to fix that clutch pedal. Problem with the clutch pedal, behind the pedal in the engine compartment, there's a master cylinder, and that's basically moving the fluid, and there's another cylinder on the clutch, and that moves the fluid, so they work in tandem. This one controls that one. But the problem is that this one is too big, and the bigger the master is, the more fluid it moves fast. So we're in first gear. My foot's all the way down. Coming up, coming up, coming up, coming up. Nothing, nothing, nothing. There we go. So it's all at the top, and it's like that much movement, and it's gone. We need to fix that. You guys know I can drive. You've seen me drive. I was a professional race car driver for 14 years, but I still slip up on this clutch. It is just not a car you can just jump into and drive because of those clutch hydraulics. It shifts well, everything else is good, but we need to fix the hydraulics. Not easy. I've stalled it a few times. It's either you stall it or you just slip the clutch and it sounds like you don't know how to drive. Oh yeah, I forgot about the pops and bangs. This thing is crazy. I can't even do a fast shift to third. I can manage, obviously. I can drive this car. But watching Damon, and especially especially Dave, try to drive this thing. It's almost painful. You're watching him take off from the light, slip the clutch or bog it. So for me, I can deal with it, but it's an easy fix. And for them, I want to make it perfect. Yeah, trying to do fast shifts, it just engages so fast, it almost like jerks the tires. And this thing makes a lot of power and quite a bit of torque. So if it was damp or dirty at all, it would definitely want to break the tires loose, even on those like part throttle shifts. All right, so here is the new master cylinder. Not a whole lot to it. Aluminum body. There is a steel piston in there with some seals, a spring. Here's a rod that's actually connected to the clutch pedal. So when you push the clutch, this gets pushed in, but it's pretty hard to do by hand. We're gonna swap this thing out. Actually, by we, I mean Tim. Hey Tim.
Yeah?
You ready? Doesn't really sound ready, does he?
We got it nice and hot.
It's nice and warmed up for you, so I know it's kind of a cold day. You're not wearing a sweater. It's gonna be nice and warm under there.
I had it on when it got warm, and now it's warmer.
All right, so while Tim is getting the tools ready to swap out that master cylinder, I am going to figure out the design for these hood vents.
Car sucks, dude. Nah, to be honest, the car is pretty ugly, like Mike was saying, but it should be pretty cool.
You think we can make it look cool?
I think we can.
You think it's possible?
Yeah. I mean, anytime you do like some custom parts and stuff, it'll change it up quite
Maybe
a bit.
some Lambo doors?
Tim! No, we're not putting Lambo doors on the Ferrari. God damn it, Tim. Kind of going off the stock body lines here, and I think kind of, you know, keeping the same idea of where these vents are, but just making them bigger, kind of following this line, but just shrinking it down a bit, I think is gonna look really good. The factory 599 race cars, they had some hood vents, but they were a bit smaller. And then they also had some fender vents. We're gonna start with the hood vents. We're gonna go more aggressive because Ferraris are always a bit tamed down. And at DDE, we like to do things bigger and better. So bigger hood vents, bigger diffusers, bigger splitters, everything's gotta be bigger. We're gonna pull this under hood panel, heat pad, dirty thing out of here. We're gonna get rid of that. That's gonna allow us to see all of the structure on the bottom side of the hood. The hood has a skin that you see on the exterior, and then underneath there's another panel that's bonded to it, and that's gonna have a bunch of ribs and openings.
Ever tell you a story about when I caught my S13 on fire? Because of that thing?
No, but I'd like to hear that story.
Like I took the spark plug out and like all the spark plug wires and had it like grounded. I started cranking it, but I didn't undo the fuel yet.
Yeah. It is, dude, it is crazy. So if you're cranking over a car and you've got the spark plugs out of it and the fuel pumps, the injector's still spraying fuel, you get this insane like fuel mist that accelerates out of the hole where the spark plug's supposed to be, and just like huge fuel vapor. A little spark.
Blew up. I remember I had leaky injectors and I wanted to pump the fuel out of it. But my dumb ass put the spark plugs back in the wires so they get held and it grounded out. Yeah, that was a good time.
Yeah, but you learned your lesson.
I panicked.
One time is all it takes to learn that lesson. Hopefully. Hopefully.
Gotta be real quiet. But as you can see here, we have the Tim in his natural habitat. Upside down.
That's right.
Under a dash. Once again.
Not upside down yet, where I was. Now I'm not. I got the clutch pedal disconnected from a little thing that goes onto the pedal.
The fork or the clevis?
The fork. The clevis.
The clevis.
That's the word. The clevis.
That's a real nice word. Clevis.
Say it again.
Clevis.
I got the clevis off of the pedal. Now I gotta get the pedal box out because the bolts for the master cylinder blocked by the plastic pedal box. So I won't even be able to get a wrench or anything on them without getting this out of the way. But I don't know if the brake pedal also has a clevis attached to it or not. I would assume so. Somewhere.
Clevis. It's not even spelled like that. This is the smallest windshield wiper reservoir like ever.
Yeah, the
like
filling.
you gotta spill that everywhere.
100% need a funnel.
This one makes a cool noise. A nice little pop. Not bad, not bad.
There is a clip on the brake pedal rod, so I'm trying to look in there with my eyes, but my eyes can't see it. The mount for the clutch master cylinder is behind the pedal box, so I think the pedal box has to come out.
You think what?
The plastic pedal assembly holder box.
Clip ice.
There is a nut back there.
There should be two, I think.
Yeah, well, I mean, I see one because of the angle. Okay, so you need to take the pin for the brake pedal.
Yes.
The pin for the brake pedal. Yeah.
You need to take that.
The angle of the dangle of that nut. Yeah. Mike used to be a professional pinstriper in a past life. Yeah.
So obviously Dave knows that we're modifying this car, but he really doesn't know what we're going to do to it. So I said, yeah, we'll do some stuff like we did to the 550. He has no idea what it's going to look like. He's not involved with the design at all, which is probably a good thing because designs and Dave that's not really his thing. You know, that's more of Damon's area of expertise. But we're going to knock something out on this car and surprise Dave, because when he gets back here, the car is going to look completely different. And when Tim's done doing what he's doing, it's going to drive so much better too. We have the picture of the 599 hood with all the tape and some of the marks that we put on there just to kind of help us position everything correctly. We've also got a couple lines on there that show the distance from that line to the other line, so it will scale it properly. And now we can start drawing it up. Once we get the outline drawn, then we can start designing the actual louver vents on the inside of it. All right, so we got the hood louver vents all designed. We are just about ready to cut. I just got to position the plasma into the corner so it knows where to start from, zero it out, and hopefully we'll have some really cool parts in about 3 minutes. Did not cut exactly how we wanted it. I'm not sure what happened here, but the holes are huge. They were supposed to be 2 millimeters, and that looks more like 1/4 of an inch. But we have something cut out at least. So we can at least take this, place it on the car. Now we have a template to see how it looks. Well, how's it going over here, Tim?
Finally got the pedal box unmounted, but now it needs to come out.
Do you think you can just like move it out of the way and get to the nuts on the backside?
That's what I'm trying to look at right now.
Was that beep? Oh, look.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey, what is up, Eric?
My new rear engine import vehicle. I love it.
It's rear engine, huh?
You like it?
I've seen these before actually, and they're pretty cool. They are very slow.
Yes.
Very, very slow, but they're pretty cool.
Top speed is like well under 65. I was like hauling at 62 and then people blew past me. 80,000 kilometers, so divided by 1.6, 50,000 miles. It's a 98.
Good year.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently. It's a good year.
Good year.
Good year, Mark.
The engine is over here.
Oh,
Access that.
hello.
Anybody home? You can do like a V10 swap in here? Transaxle?
It's gonna stick like the whole bed is gonna be the engine.
How much did you pay for it?
$5,000.
So what are you gonna do to it?
I gotta put wheel suspension, exhaust, and clean up the paint a little bit.
So you're doing a full DDE build on this thing.
Yeah. I got a twin turbo and put a
Twin
V12.
turbo.
It's a 3-cylinder. They say you put out like 50 horsepower.
Nice.
Solid.
It's almost, it's more than my go-kart, but not by that much.
It's only 1,500 pounds.
Yeah, it's pretty light. So I've seen guys in these things like do stoppies where the back lifts up.
I want to try that.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's try it.
Yeah, fire it up.
Yeah. It doesn't want to tip.
You were close. You guys just got to throw yourself into it. You just got to commit.
660 cc, 50 horsepower.
Dude, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Let's try one more time.
One more time?
All right, we'll go even faster this time.
Okay.
Didn't do it.
You were close.
Didn't do it.
All right, we're gonna try it one more time. I'm now sitting in the front, so I should help a little bit.
Okay, yeah. We got more
we
weight
go.
in the front. Adios.
Why you do it, man?
Oh, not too bad. We're just trying
Why'd you do it?
do what?
The burnout inside.
I got peer pressured. It wasn't my fault. I blame the car.
I was playing in the arms of an angel a bit ago looking at that thing, dude.
It looks good though. Kind of.
We see that fun?
I did.
for about 2 seconds.
But we fixed the brakes. Now we know. See, one good thing came out of it.
I got you guys later.
All right, now back to the action. Come! Oh, this is so much fun. It lifted a little bit.
Lifted a little bit?
It lifted a little bit.
Sick.
Hey, did you see it tipped it left because that side's heavier?
It lifted, and you left the skid mark.
Let's try it one more time.
Okay.
Yeah, we're having a lot of fun.
Come! There it comes. It lifted.
Lifted? Yeah! We got it! Let's go!
Dude, that is so much fun. I think I do need to get one of these.
My brakes works.
Their brakes do work.
Yeah.
Take that, Mike.
Right.
See, Eric.
Now that Eric's gone, we can focus back on this. So we've got this cut out. Obviously, this isn't correct. All the cutouts weren't right. We're gonna give it a shot with the first file, not the modified one. And that should fix our holes and also cut these gaps out a little bit bigger and get rid of these strips right here that don't need to be there. So I'm gonna go back to the plasma table, cut a pair out. Hopefully we'll have 2 parts that are correct and we can place them on the car, drill some holes, cut some holes, and get these things installed. Let's go. We've got our hood vents. Finally, it worked. Everything got cut out correctly. We've got the spacing now on the sides. We've got the little connectors so we can bend them to the angle that we want. When they're all done, everything will line up nicely on the hood so we can place it on there, measure it out, then drill all the holes, put in our little clecos, which are like temporary rivets, line everything up, mark it, cut the hood, clean up the edges, and then once that's all done, pull them back off, get them powder coated, probably just paint them for now until we get all the stuff done and we can powder coat everything all at once. But before we do that, I gotta take these off, open the hood, pull a couple panels off, and helped him get that master cylinder out of there. Been underneath the dash for the better part of the day, trying to get the whole pedal assembly out because it is apparently an absolute nightmare to get to that. I think we can actually make it better. We pulled the hood off for 2 reasons. One is easier access, but also it'll be easier for us to cut the holes in the hood because we have to flip it upside down after we cut the top open and cut all the extra ribbing out of the way. So that'll make that easier. Obviously, access to this stuff is easier. We've already got the windshield wiper off over here because it mounts, basically sandwiches this plastic panel in place. So now we'll pull the plastic panel off and then we'll be able to reach the clutch master cylinder. We've got the hood in the back. We can place those hood vents on there, line them up, make sure they're mirrored on both sides and they match perfectly. Then we can start drilling holes, getting them lined up, draw out what we need to cut, pull them back off, cut it out. It's a bit of a process, but we're gonna go do that right now.
Dude, these hole saws for sheet metal, solid, the best. Call it, Tim.
Heads. There's more on that side. Damn!
We don't know which side was which. But yeah, so we're cutting each of the 4 corners out for the radius, and then we're just gonna use the cutoff wheel to connect the lines. It'll have a little bit left since we don't have the proper size hole saw for the radius, and then we'll just take a barrel sander and then clean up the rest of the line.
bolt plate for this thing. So instead of the bolts going this way and having nuts on the backside, we're gonna put this in the car. We're gonna put some glue here so it'll be in place, and then we can just slide the master cylinder in, put a couple nuts over here, and we won't have to disassemble the entire interior of the car to swap out a master cylinder. It wasn't done before. It's gonna be done now.
Hey, Tim. Tim.
It looks like special delivery has arrived. How you doing?
Lawrence, Michael. Good to meet
Nice to meet you.
We'll open it up, get it out.
Yeah.
Where are we putting it? It's a good question.
Oh yeah. We have a very special delivery coming today, and I know what it is, but nobody else knows what it is.
Tim, you excited?
I'm excited.
You hear what it is?
I can see on his shirt.
It's a simulator, guys.
Dude.
It's got the DD logo, Sim Coaches on the back of the seat. It's actually, I believe it's a triple monitor. Dave told me it's a pretty sick setup, so I'm pretty excited. The e-brake handle is sick. There's a sequential shifter on it. Do not look like a cheap setup. Oh yeah, that thing is sick. Can't wait to try this thing out. So I have a sim at home, but it's like real basic. The pedal feel is terrible, which makes it really hard to be consistent when you're driving. All right, so while the guys are getting the rest of the stuff out of the truck for the simulator, and they're gonna go and set all that stuff up, we're gonna get back to work on the 599 so we can actually get this thing done today.
All right, so we finally got the old master out, and now we're just swapping over all the fittings and lines and the clavice onto the new one. I actually got the pedal box out now that we already removed the master. So now I have to figure out how to get it back in.
Inside this box is the heart of the simulator. It controls everything, and it is a custom built. It's apparently a very, very, very high-end gaming PC. From what I heard, it is absolutely amazing. It's water cooled. There's a lot of cool features. So we're gonna pop this thing open right now and check it out. Dude, it's got to be expensive. Inside of that wood crate and the box with the padding.
Yeesh. Oh man. You ready?
You ready?
All right, 3, 2, 1. Okay, hold on. All right, you ready?
I feel like I need to try that again. No, I'm just gonna take it off.
Okay. Man, that is sick.
Dude, I love that glass cover. That's very cool. All right, well that is pretty wild. I see like there's at least 6 fans in this thing. Oh no, 7. That's pretty wild. GeForce RTX, that is a seriously good component. Everything is water cooled, so we've got like a water container here with a pump, and it's gonna pump water through the entire system just like a car's engine, so it'll cool it down. That's legit. So this is really gonna help us out. Having the simulator here is gonna be able to give Damon a lot of seat time doing a lot of different driving. We plan on going to at least 5 events this year at Grid Life, plus I'm sure some other ones. So getting seat time before you get to the event is really important. When you're at the track, you don't have a lot of time on track usually. They're pretty short sessions, and if you're trying to learn the track, first time at the track, and get seat time and get fast, it's tough. So if you can jump on the simulator and get really accurate lines down, your braking points, and just get a really good feel of the track, when you jump in your race car, when you're actually at the track, you're gonna be a lot faster right out of the box. So this is gonna be a huge help for Damon.
All right, so I got the new master in, or Mike and I got the new master in. Was able to get the pedal box back in fairly easily compared to taking it out. I don't know why it's so much easier to going in than going out, but yeah, almost there. I'm just gonna wrap this up, put the interior back together, and then we'll have to bleed it and see how this new clutch pedal feels and grabs.
Karate Kid over here. All right, Sean's almost finished cutting out the hood. It's smoothing all the edges. So I'm going to put some satin paint on these louvers. Obviously, we're gonna powder coat them later, but for now, just to get them on the car, see how they look. And then once we get all the stuff done, the diffuser, the side skirts, the dive planes, we'll send everything off all at once to get powder coated, make sure it's all the same color black. Until then, rattle can. So I've actually spray painted an entire car satin black. It was one of my customers, and he had a 996 GT3 RSR thing. We modified everything on it. It's like full carbon fiber, everything, doors, quarter panels, roof, like every single part of the skin of the car was carbon fiber. We were just kind of like, you know, we're gonna go and we're gonna absolutely just destroy these guys that we're racing against. We modified this car super fast, but we want it to look like a rat rod. You know, we don't care about how it looks, it's just gonna be fast. So we spray painted the whole car, and we went out there and just won like every single race. If you get little scratches on it, we'll touch up in the pits, good to go. Holes are cut, cleaned up, and now we can drop these louvers on here. Spray paint job is definitely not one of my best, but don't worry, it'll come off soon. Just want to make sure that everything looks good. We can get all these angles bent and get the hood back on the car. And like I said, once we finish everything else, then we'll powder coat these things. So, hey, getting caught up over there.
Tip to tip, you know. Oh, that took forever. Whole like, what, minute?
Yeah. It's time to bend these flaps and put some angle in them so they actually work. It would be pretty cool if we could close them and open them. Damn. Woo. Yeah, no, that's too complicated. All right, let's just bend them. So the hood is done. It is ready to go back on the car. So I had an idea. We're gonna do a little makeshift wind tunnel testing here. I'm gonna grab some string, some tape. Let's see how these vents actually work. And wind tunnel ready. Clutch is bled. We've got a proper clutch pedal now. Now we're gonna put these panels back in. We can put the hood back on the car, and I'm excited to check this out. Let's see how it looks. I think it looks so much better. It breaks up that massive hood. The vents that were on there before were so small. Now it kind of fits, and it's looking a lot more race car. We do have to do dive planes and a front splitter and all the rest of the stuff, but that was a big improvement, I think. What do you guys think? Comment below, let us know. Should we change the style? What do you think on the dive planes? What do you think about that front splitter? Should we make it big? Should it be very rounded, kind of tucked away? And wing, do we need to do a big wing? Should we do a ducktail? I'm not sure. Let me know. What do you guys think? I have not felt the clutch pedal yet. Sean was in here when we were bleeding it, and I hope that we got it right with a 5/8 master cylinder. I'm gonna jump in this thing, fire it up, take this thing for a spin. Dude, I can already feel the difference just pulling it out of the shop. It was so much easier to drive. It's like you have some modulation here instead of it just being a complete on and off switch. Get this thing out on the streets. So much better. It's almost like I don't know how to drive it now because I was like so used to driving it with that other master cylinder where it's just so snappy. Now I'm like really cautious. I got used to it for a minute, but it is way better. This car is going to be a lot more fun to drive around town and on the highway. Everything is just, what a difference. Something so simple, just a master cylinder swap can make to the drivability. Looking up here, seeing the hood vents out here. Yeah, this car is just on like the first step of its transformation, and I feel like it's already way better as far as drivability and way better looking. I can't believe how amazing this car is. The sound is crazy. It is actually really fast, and man, the shifts are just so much better now with the new master cylinder. I love this thing. All right, guys, so that was just step one on this car. We have a ton of other mods in mind, like we talked about. What do you guys think we should do to this thing? Is there something that we're missing here? Let us know. Comment below, like the video. We'll see you guys next time.